This picket has been going since last October. I joined a little bit after that time. We are here every week, and we are here to protest against the Israeli ambassador, Tzipi Hotovely, who has advocated genocide against the Palestinians. And we are also protesting against the genocidal regime in Tel Aviv and for the freedom of Palestine. She has openly called for genocide. That is a crime under the International Criminal Court. She should be arrested and prosecuted. IJAN has initiated legal proceedings against the ambassador, calling for her to be arrested and prosecuted under the Rome Statute, which says incitement to genocide is a crime. She should be arrested and thrown in jail and thrown out of this country. Today's protest has been very good in terms of the police doing their job and keeping us separate. But for many weeks, it has not been good. The Zionists have been coming up to our protest, have been provoking us, have been swearing at us, have been trying to intimidate us. They have done dreadful things. They have assaulted people. They're such cowards. They always pick on women, usually women of color, because they are weaker than them and they can't fight back. There is no doubt Zionism is dying. The state of Israel is on its deathbed. But friends and comrades, we know that at the time near to death, they get more and more vicious. We know this. So we must be on our guard and we keep up the pressure. The BDS campaign is incredibly important, especially for us in the West. We know the West not only arms Israel with weapons and protects them politically, but economically as well. So everything we can do to disrupt the trade, stop the trading and so on is very important. But one area that hasn't got enough attention until now is the scientific and research community. And by that I mean medicine, the legal profession, architects, engineers. They all have their international organizations. We must kick them out.
Kick them out!
Kick Israel out of the international community.
Kick them out! Kick them out!
Israel out! Israel out! Israel out! Israel out! Israel out! Israel out! Israel out! Israel out! And you know what's happened? 10 days ago, the International Federation of Medical Student Associations kicked Israel out. And they were very upset. And the head of the Israeli Medical Association and the Minister of Health said, oh, we're going to turn that around, we're going to stop it. Yeah, mate, pull the other one. But yeah, we've just started a campaign that's gone public to kick Israel out of the International Organization of Family Doctors.
Israel out!
Israel out! You will remember those fascist Israeli doctors who signed the letter in November last year calling for the bombing of hospitals. You remember that? 16 of those doctors are family doctors, like your GP. Can you imagine your GP signing a letter like that? For that reason, because of the destruction of the health service in Gaza, because of the murder of over 550 Palestinian healthcare workers, because of the torture to death of doctors, because of the mass rape that's going on in the prisons, because of all of these issues, the starvation, the infectious diseases that are being imposed, the siege, the genocide, the medical profession in Israel is part and parcel of it. They are as thick as thieves with the Zionist regime. With the IOF, they all serve in the IOF. They man those prisons where they are torturing and raping Palestinian prisons. Their days are numbered. We are going to kick them out of the whole international community. Every time they show their miserable faces, they are going to be told, we don't want to sit with you in the same room, you genocide maniacs. We don't want to work with you in any scientific organization. You don't believe in equality and freedom. You are racist to the core.
They've got the flag of St. George, which you may recall has recently been wrapped around the fascists. That's what they have, and the British flag. I want to point out that Tommy Robinson, you all know who Tommy Robinson is, one of the founders of the English Defence League. When they originally founded that organization, it was called the English and Jewish Defence League. And then they became the English Defence League, and then they created a Jewish wing, which was run by a Zionist of the English Defence League. That shows how closely the fascist racists are working with the Zionists.
You could walk through here with a Palestinian flag, I've seen it many times on the Israeli side. You won't be attacked. As soon as you go near sometimes some of these protests with an Israeli flag, there's so much hate, there's so much misunderstanding, there's so much coming at you, there's so much aggression.
These people across the road have been shouting, Gaza deserves it. I think that these people have no morality, no humanity, and no place here.
I understand when I look at tribal people, when I see Jewish people in the land of Israel, the connection they feel to their land when you step foot on the soil of where your blood is from, you have this deep, deep connection. And when I have seen Jewish friends in Israel, their connection, they explain to me, I understand, because I feel that every time I land in New Zealand, I take my shoes off, I feel connected to the land. I've seen one of their signs, I've seen it says Jews against genocide. Obviously, every human being is against genocide. However, I think people are reading things differently. There has been no actual proof that any genocide has occurred, so it's almost like we're living in this world where people are guilty before even being proven guilty. People have decided to use this word genocide, band it around, without actually, when there is so much evidence to the contrary. I understand that they're here because they want to evict the ambassador of the Israeli embassy from this country because they think she is supporting a genocide against the Palestinian people, which I think is outrageous. Although, I mean, they might tell me they've heard something else. For me, looking at the actions of the Israeli government and the fact that they are losing so many soldiers as they are precision picking their way through to try and find their hostages. If anyone was serious about wanting a ceasefire, they would demand the hostages be returned. Why is no one asking for that? Israel would stop the assault if they got their hostages back tomorrow. They've said that on the world stage, they could never go back on that.
It's quite clear that a genocide is taking place of the Palestinian people, and yet they willfully do not see it. All they see on their television screens in Israel is their hero soldiers, and they treat the Palestinians like dirt. They call Palestinians less than animals. They call Palestinians vermin. They've called them rats. This is the language of genocide. The leaders of Israel have called for genocide absolutely openly on many, many occasions. And I think it's time the British government said no. The people of Britain say no, the people of the world say no.
I attended the protest last Friday with Aijan. I left at 6 with them. I waited until the crowds dispersed, both parties dispersed. My friend came and picked me up, and 6:30 we went to Primrose Hill. I've been literally followed. Like when I entered the park, someone from the pro-Israeli protesters was following me. I noticed that. He was on my right side. He shouted at me, and then I thought he disappeared. But when I was on the top of the Primrose Hill, so almost like 40 minutes after the protest stopped, he was still there. He was shouting at me. Luckily, I was with a friend, but I was really scared. He was very aggressive, and would I be alone, I would have been really scared.